DETV News is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
Tonight, it's shaping up to be a crowded September primary in the race for Delaware governor. Plus, 2 weeks after she was shot and killed, Dover police make arrests in the Delaware state shooting case. And will the coming swarm of cicadas make a Delaware appearance? We've got the answer. Those stories and much more coming up tonight on DETV News. Good evening and welcome to DETV News. I'm Matt Ford. Thanks so much for being with us. Here's what's making news this Tuesday, May 7th. Pike Creek Republican Representative Mike Ramone has set his sights on a higher office, announcing his decision not to seek re-election to the House of Representatives this year, but to run for Delaware governor instead. As the current House Minority Leader, Ramone's move to step away from the 21st District seat adds an intriguing dynamic to Delaware's political landscape. Ramone's departure from the House leaves a void in the 21st District, sparking interest from Democratic candidates Michael Smith and Frank Burns. Ramone expressed gratitude to his constituents for their unwavering support throughout his 16-year tenure. With the stage set for a competitive gubernatorial race, both Republican and Democratic contenders gear up for a September 10th primary. And in a related story, Delaware GOP Chair Julianne Murray has decided against pursuing a gubernatorial bid, a move aimed at fortifying party unity and organizational vigor. The announcement comes in the wake of State House Representative Mike Ramone's declaration of intent to vie for the gubernatorial seat. Murray emphasized the urgency of consolidating the political party's strength to combat potential challenges posed by a Democratic supermajority in the General Assembly. She stressed the significance of unity in advancing conservative principles and reclaiming Delaware from what she characterized as radical Democratic governance. With Murray opting out of the gubernatorial race, Ramone and Price are set to contend in a Republican primary in September. The victor will then confront one of the three Democratic contenders, Lieutenant Governor Bethany Hall Long, Newcastle County Executive Matt Meyer, or former State Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control Secretary Colin O'Mara. And switching gears here, Kamei Da Silva, an 18-year-old with aspirations of a future in cybersecurity, tragically became a victim of gun violence during a visit to Delaware State University on April 21st. Police reports indicate that she was not the intended target of the shooting, which occurred following an unrelated altercation near a residential hall on campus. At a press conference held 2 weeks after the incident, Dover police identified and arrested two men, Destroy Jones and Damian Hinson, in connection with Da Silva's death. 20-year-old Jones was apprehended in Brooklyn, while 18-year-old Hinson was arrested in a Dover shopping center parking lot. Both face charges including first-degree murder and possession of a firearm while committing a felony. The events leading to Da Silva's tragic death unfolded in the early hours of a Sunday morning shooting, with shots fired near Warren Franklin Residential Hall. Despite immediate medical attention, Da Silva succumbed to her injuries, leaving behind a devastated family and community.
Kamei's family has been in our thoughts from the moment the senseless act of violence occurred, and our hope is that these apprehensions can help begin the process of healing. The Dover Police Department is announcing the arrest of Destroy Jones, age 20, and Damian Hinson, age 18, both of Dover, for the murder of Kamei Mitchell Da Silva.
And in other news, a 10-year-old boy has died of injuries he suffered when another boy and he were hit by a vehicle on Falkland Road Monday afternoon. Newcastle County Police say a 17-year-old male was going westbound in an SUV approaching Centerville Road when the vehicle crossed the center line and hit the two children who were on the sidewalk. The SUV then apparently crashed into a home. Police, paramedics, and members of local fire companies responded and treated the three young people. A 10-year-old patient died at Nemours Children's Hospital. The 12-year-old boy was treated at Nemours and released. The 17-year-old driver was treated at Christiana Hospital and also released. The Newcastle County Division of Police Traffic Services Unit is investigating the incident. Anyone with information is asked to contact detectives at 302-395-8052, or you can call the police non-emergency number at 302-573-2800. And in other news, a 50-foot fin whale which beached itself at Delaware State Park on Sunday has sadly passed away overnight. Efforts are currently underway from volunteers from the Marine Education, Research, and Rehabilitation Institute and staff from the Delaware Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control to move the whale for a narcopsy to determine the cause of death, revealed MER board member Rob Rector on Monday morning. Due to the narrow stretch of beach where the whale died, just north of the Indian River Inlet, work can only progress with the tide, as noted by Rector. This area was particularly vulnerable, having been affected by a breach during a recent storm. The deceased whale, identified as an emaciated sub-adult by MER Director Suzanne Thurman, had drawn significant attention on social media, with hundreds of people flocking to the beach for a glimpse. Despite efforts to sedate the whale, dangerous water levels prevented intervention, officials explained. This incident marks the second time in just recent years that a fin whale has beached in Delaware, with previous cases being in 2021, resulting in death from intestinal parasites. And Amneal Pharmaceuticals, a New Jersey-based drug manufacturer, has reached a significant settlement agreement with Delaware and several other states in response to its involvement in the opioid crisis. That's according to the Delaware Department of Justice on Monday. Valued at over $270 million, the settlement addresses allegations that Amneal neglected to monitor and report suspicious orders from its customers, thereby contributing to the overprescription of opioids. Notably, Amneal manufactured nearly 9 billion generic opioid pills between the years 2006 and 2019. This development comes amidst a troubling increase in overdoses in both Kent and Sussex counties, prompting state police to issue multiple safety advisories. Shockingly, within a single week, there were 125 suspected overdoses reported downstate alone. Analysis conducted by the Delaware National Guard revealed that many of these drugs contain both xylazine, which is a veterinary sedative, and the synthetic opioid fentanyl. As part of the settlement, Amneal has committed to provide $92.5 million in cash over the next decade to the involved states. Delaware's share of this sum will be allocated to the state's Prescription Opioid Settlement Distribution Fund, which will distribute the funds to organizations dedicated to combating addiction. More, a portion of the settlement funds will be allocated in the form of naclazone, a nasal spray commonly known as Narcan, to the states as well. Amneal's generic version of Narcan received approval over-the-counter sales from U.S. Food and Drug Administration on April 24th. Now, despite not issuing a statement following this settlement, Amneal's co-executive officers expressed their pride in addressing the public health emergency in a press release regarding the launch of the generic Narcan. Delaware Attorney General Kathy Jennings emphasized the state's commitment to holding pharmaceutical companies accountable for their role in the opioid crisis, stating, quote, "While no amount of money can undo the harm that has been done, we will continue to hold pharmaceutical companies accountable for their role in the opioid crisis, both nationally and here in Delaware." And a 65-year-old man from Felton lost his life early Sunday morning near Greenwood. Delaware State Police have identified the victim as Arnold Hockensmith. According to authorities, Hockensmith was navigating his Mercury Mountaineer northward on Greenwood Road, just north of Tomahawk Branch Road. However, just before 6 a.m., for reasons not yet known, his vehicle swerved off the east side of the road. The Mountaineer collided with many trees before ultimately turning over onto its roof. Hockensmith was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the accident and was pronounced dead at the scene. Delaware State Police are actively investigating the circumstances around the crash. They urge anyone with information to reach out to Master Corporal Jay Lane at 302-698-8457. And staying in Sussex County, officials gear up for the impending wave of marijuana business regulations following Delaware's legalization of recreational marijuana last year. Expected to take effect on July 5th, new state laws prompt proactive measures from county authorities. Under the anticipated regulations, the Office of the Marijuana Commissioner plans to distribute licenses for 60 cultivators, 30 manufacturers, 30 retailers, and 5 testing facilities. Sussex County, however, aims to regulate these establishments by controlling their permissible locations through zoning ordinances. County Attorney Vince Robertson has been actively briefing County Council and Planning and Zoning Commissions on the proposed regulations. According to Robertson, all marijuana facilities must obtain zoning approval from Sussex County before obtaining a state license. Retail businesses further require a conditional use permit from the County Council. Now, if adopted, the ordinance would facilitate the operation of cultivation, manufacturing, and testing facilities across the various zoning districts, with retail stores restricted to C3 heavy commercial districts. However, exact acreage of C3 zones remains unknown, posing a challenge for stakeholders in navigating the regulatory landscape. And Brandywine High School's STEM team has clinched victory in the 14th annual Samsung Solve for Tomorrow competition, marking their second consecutive national win. Led by teachers Sean Merklin, students Olivia Erkshine, Catherine McDerby, Isabella Chermick, and Malti John spearheaded an initiative project aimed at fostering inclusivity within the Brandywine School District. The team's inspirations stem from insights shared by district special education teachers, revealing a need for fostering connections among students. Channeling their creativity, the team revamped classic board games like Chutes and Ladders and Connect 4. Their adaptations, featuring adaptable controls and enhanced audiovisual elements, cater to diverse abilities, including visually impaired and colorblind. Crafted using software and eco-friendly materials like laser-cut plywood, the games boast a minimal carbon footprint. Their impact transcends age demographics, with demand surging from schools across Newcastle County, Delaware, and local assisted living facilities. Brandywine High's STEM triumph underscores their commitment to inclusivity and innovation. Congratulations. And in what's becoming a buzzworthy topic across the nation, trillions of cicadas are gearing up to make their presence known across the Midwest and Southeast, leaving many to wonder if their peace and quiet will be disturbed or a thing of the past this spring. Thankfully, residents here in the First State can breathe a sigh of relief as they remain untouched by the impending insect invasion that promises to fill the air with incessant buzzing everywhere. Typically making their debut in the spring as temperatures rise, cicadas tend to stick around until late June. Contrary to popular belief, their primary objective isn't to create a symphony of noise and leave behind a trail of carcasses. Periodical cicadas like the impending swarms emerge infrequently. Spring of 2024 marks a rare occurrence, as both 13-year and 17-year cicada broods are set to emerge at the same time. So we are spared there. And finally tonight, we are proud to note that our own Ivan Thomas, founder and main creative force behind here at DETV, was awarded the Community Service Award by the Newcastle County Chamber of Commerce at its annual dinner.
See, DETV is not Ivan Thomas. It's all of us. And you know, back then when they called this Murder Town, there was a city that we believed in, that all of us believed in. My job is to show it. And what we've done to show it has been remarkable.
We're so proud. And the annual dinner brings together leaders, policymakers, and nonprofit organizations. The other 2024 honorees include Senator Tom Carper. He received the Lifetime Achievement Award. Charles S. McDowell, the chairman of the board of directors for Reach Riverside, received the Economic Impact Award, and Wilmington Mayor Mike Przicki was recognized with the Free Enterprise Award. A big congratulations to all of the award honorees. And that's going to do it for tonight's edition of DETV News. Be sure to like and follow us all across your favorite social media platforms. And for a look at what's happening all around our great state of Delaware, check out our website. That's detvch.com. With tonight's news, I'm Matt Ford. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. don't talk about prostate cancer enough, and it's the most diagnosed form of cancer and the second most common cause of cancer death among Black men in both Delaware and the United States. Approximately 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, but just by asking your healthcare provider if you should get a screening could help you detect prostate cancer early and save your life. So let's talk about it. Talk to your healthcare provider today about a prostate cancer screening if you are 40 years of age or older, or have a family history of prostate cancer. If you don't have insurance, or if your insurance doesn't pay for cancer screenings, Screening for Life may provide you with the screenings that you need, and nurse navigators make this process easier. To learn more, visit healthydelaware.org/prostate or call 211. Ask your healthcare provider about a prostate cancer screening, and you're asking for so much more.